Welcome to Profit Channels. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. Please consider this video entertainment. Today I am talking about General Mills, or GIS, 4.86% dividend yield. Price to earnings 12.18, price to sales 1.42. You can see annually we've got nice net income. Quarterly, we're a little down in Q4 24. North American retail, international, North American pet, North American food service. Our short-term liabilities are a little higher than preferred, but long-term is not bad. Quarterly, we've got free cash flow. Annually, we have free cash flow. We've got 18 analysts with a range from $45 to $63. We're right now at 54. So we've got 5 buys, 14 holds, and 3 strong sells. Here is a monthly chart, and these charts are logarithmic, and you can see that the midpoint line, we bounced off it right there. We've gone up, so if I connect these two tops and I just arbitrarily drag it to here, I mean, this midpoint line is not bad, but it doesn't mean that this is where it's stopping, but I think it may be. So you can see on our way up here, we've bounced off the 100 several times, and then we came down here to the 200. The only time we've done that. And currently, we are now back down through all our moving averages and below the 200, which we have never been before. If I look at this on a weekly, you can see that as we broke down, the 200 was resistance, then we broke above, and then it was support. But now we are broken down in quite a distance from all of our moving averages. And our volume seems to be moving up a little bit. Now, I also have a channel like this, where we've got a couple touches, a couple more, and on the bottom, this would just be 2 touches, but our midpoint line is fairly decent. And if we also have a channel like this. So if we look at the channels, we potentially are bouncing off the long term, the medium term, and not quite the short term, but this is a pretty good channel here. Maybe not the best, but we'll see where we go. If I hide these channels, oops. There we go. Let's go to the daily. So you can see on the daily, we've broken down, then we were bouncing off the 50, made it up to the 200, bouncing off the 100, now we're bouncing off the 50, and we're coming in, so we've been heading down, and now we are heading sideways, we're basing out. So this is a pretty bearish day candle. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If we look at the weekly candle, it's pretty bearish. And the monthly, it's very, very neutral. So we'll see how this last week goes. Back to the weekly or the daily. So you can see we're approaching our 50. So if we start breaking above these moving averages, we can gather all of these together and hopefully we'll break up. Kind of like how we gathered up all our lines here and broke up, and then gathered up our lines here. We broke down. Back to the weekly. So if I do a retracement from this bottom to this top, you can see that puts us right at the 1272 right here. These lines work out pretty nicely. You can see the 236, 382, 0.5, 618, and then the 786 is real pretty. Now, if I do a retracement from this bottom to this top, we're right almost at 2. You can see we got some pretty good line action here. This 618. Let me get a volume profile on here. So you can see the 1618 is this right next to this point of control. So we should be heading up there. This 2, it works out real nice. And you can kind of see that, this is a point. It was support, broke through, is resistance, broke through, it's support again. So we'll see if this continues to be support. Now, if I do an extension from this bottom to this top and saying this is the bottom, these lines work out pretty good. So the 2618 here at the top, this 2, it's got some nice touches. 618 here, bouncing off of it here and here. Pretty good lines. So I kind of like this. Here's an interesting thing now. So this is General Mills divided by S&P 500. And you can see that we have never been this far below the 200 period ever. It's just, even if you drew it down here, there's no way. We've never been above it this far. So this is a new record. So I think we're due for some reversion to the mean. You can see this point of control right here. It's a real nice line. So, just this is the worst that it's been versus the S&P in history. So when it goes down, this means that the General Mills is under. It's worth less compared to the S&P 500. Then if it's going up, then it's worth more compared to the S&P 500. So this is the least it's been worth in a long time. Here is our parabolic SAR and super trend. So everything is looking real bearish here. We're down here on the monthly with the oversold on the RSI. Our squeeze momentum is looking pretty bad, and our MACD, we've got a lighter histogram right here, but generally this is pretty negative. Here we are on the weekly, and all cells up here. Now, if we have our RSI starting to go up, you can see that this will be an upward trend. This could be interpreted as an upward trend. And if our MACD comes up, this also would be an upward trend. On the daily, everything's looking pretty negative. RSI tried to get above 50 but did not. And squeeze momentum is trying to go bullish but not yet there yet. And our MACD is trying to cross over to be positive, but not quite there yet. So this is the RSI Bollinger Band strategy. And so we have now broken below this moving average on the monthly. Money flow index is just starting to come up. Our stochastic is overbought or oversold. And our ADX is kind of right at 20. If I go to the weekly, now we are outside of our Bollinger Band, outside of it and below it. So last time we've been there, well, it tried to get out and fell back, but eventually it made its way to the top. You can see money flow index is definitely moving up. Our stochastic is starting to trend up, and our ADX is starting to show a trend. Finally, on the daily, it looks like we've bounced off the bottom of our Bollinger Band and are trying to make our way to the midpoint. Money flow index is up there, currently pointing down, but it hasn't maxed out yet. You can see our stochastic, it was heading up, and then today it just broke down, but we're still above 50, the average, and our ADX is pretty bottomed out. So I think this is a really interesting stock in an interesting place. Let's zoom in here. This is where we bounced off this high volume right here. The next stop for volume would be down here, which would be a $5 loss. You can see that we're below this point of control, and in fact we're below the two most recent points of control. We've got another one right here, so there's a lot of upside potential on this one. I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Talk to you later.